court in Kuwait has sentenced a woman, a teacher, 37-year-old Huda al-Ajmi, to 11 years in prison for posting comments on social media that were deemed insulting to the emir. She can appeal the sentence, apparently. Seems really excessive to me. 11 years. According to US-based Human Rights Watch, nearly 25 people have been charged with offending the emir since October. This so-called king is described as immune and inviolable by the country's constitution. And Kuwait, by the way, has a reputation for allowing more free expression, more free speech than some of the states around them. What does that say about the states around them, I ask? Fairly recently in Bangladesh, we've seen journalists being detained and the government shutting down TV stations. The government says this is necessary. There have been months of violent protests in the country, but opponents of this media crackdown are saying that this is a political strategy ahead of next year's elections. Just last month in Uganda, two newspapers, the Daily Monitor and the Red Pepper, were shut down and raided by police. These raids were to do with a classified letter, I believe, leaked to one of the newspapers, which raised concerns about an alleged plot to assassinate government and military officials. Now, during this time, the only English language newspaper available to Ugandans has been the New Vision, which is the government-owned newspaper. I'll let you draw your own conclusions there. The former editor of a Sri Lanka newspaper, Frederica Jans, the newspaper is called the Sunday Leader, she fled the country and has made an asylum claim. While she was editor, she said she was threatened by the defense minister, the president's brother, who said that a lot of people wanted to see her dead. I was watching an interview with Frederica Jans on Al Jazeera, which was disturbing. She doesn't want people to know her location because she fears for her own safety. And I can understand why. Yeah. I'm sure many of you are aware of the protests and trouble going on in Turkey right now. Arrest warrants were issued for dozens of people charged with spreading false information on social media. Turkey is a country which has a terrible record when it comes to jailing journalists, by the way. Apparently, the government in Hungary has been clamping down on media freedoms and human rights. The new constitution there has many people concerned about the direction the country is going in. Now, you can go and do your own research, and I'm sure you'll find plenty of examples of aggressive government campaigns against independent media sources. And you'll find this in scores of countries. Whether we're talking about Europe, Asia, Latin America, Africa, you know, in some places, being a journalist or just being someone who is brave enough to speak up in the name of truth and justice is very dangerous. Scared little minds fear the truth. Insecure, paranoid, authoritarian regimes fear the truth. Many governments around the world, they don't want free speech and free expression. They do not want a well-informed citizenry. But in today's world, where international pressure and international condemnation is very real, where the internet can be used to fuel and inform protest movements, freedom movements, democracy movements, it can be difficult for oppressive regimes to keep their people down. The world is changing. Not everyone could have predicted the happenings of the past few years, could they? What's going to happen in the next few? Who's brave enough to make predictions? Are there going to be more revolutions? Will there be more and more repression in certain countries, in certain regions, as dictators and despotic regimes pull out all the tricks to try and cling on to power, keep their people down? Attacks against free speech will no doubt continue. Anyway, see you later, folks. Peace.